I'm going to share with you exactly why I'm bullish about this project. Welcome back to Bearman Crypto, where we talk all things crypto. So ASTAR was one of the top winners in the Polkadot parachains back in 2021, and since then they have been building, and today they actually released some specific news which is mega bullish about a new partnership that they have, but also they already have multiple partnerships. So ASTAR basically enables the interaction between EVM and WASM environments, and they specifically look to onboard a lot of Web 2 participants onto Web 3, and they've been doing this through a lot of their partnerships that they've been working with. So in terms of just ASTAR itself, it's absolutely massive, particularly in Japan. So Japan see ASTAR as the blockchain of choice, basically. And what ASTAR themselves are really looking to do is to become more than just a cross-chain bridge for Polkadot, but essentially they are an ecosystem in their own right. You can see here in terms of the number of dApps that they've got at present, over 50 dApps and over 500,000 community members. So in terms of some of those specific chains that they're looking to bridge, you can see here Solana, Ethereum, BNB Smart Chain. You've got Avalanche here. You've got the Cosmos ecosystem. You've got Polygon. You've got Polkadot itself here. So they're looking to basically build a gateway between all these different blockchains and get them talking to each other and really make it easy and simple for developers to basically build various dApps. And you can see here in terms of what I just want to show you what some of that ecosystem basically looks like. You can see all the various things that they've got going on in their ecosystem in terms of DeFi. You've got so many different protocols that are working with ASTAR protocol. And in terms of wallets, you've obviously it's compatible with MetaMask, Clover, you've got Metadot, you've got Polkadot wallet itself. And in terms of, you look at some of the big infrastructure players that they're working with, you've got AWS, you've got Microsoft, you've got Alchemy over here. And in terms of some of the protocols that we discussed, you've got Cosmos, Akala, you've got Bitfrost, Parallel, Tether, Band Protocol. So they're working, their ecosystem is growing quite massively. And their 2023 roadmap looks impressive as well in terms of some of the stuff that they're looking to do. They're looking to build and finalize this cross virtual machine and an improvement on the ASTAR UI, and bringing forward some of this dApp staking. So at the moment, if you've got any ASTAR tokens, you can stake them directly on the ASTAR website and actually earn passive income in the background. I think at the moment the APY is sitting at around 10%, so nothing huge, but at least you can comfortably stake directly on ASTAR, and you know that you're not putting your tokens at risk as you would do on a centralized exchange. And in Q2, what else have they got? They're obviously working towards this decentralization, so they've got a bit of work happening there. They mentioned Tokenomics. Not quite sure if they're looking to do something different with their tokenomics there. And if we look forward to Q3, they're also looking to introduce an ASTAR SDK again, which will bring more developers into their ecosystem. So all of this is obviously stuff which is very positive for ASTAR. And now onto the specific news released today. So basically, there was an announcement today that there was an incubation program that was just launched. That's going to be launching shortly, and that's going to be in partnership specifically with Sony Network Communications. So the main partner here will be basically Sony. So that is, I think that's a mega bullish announcement. As I mentioned, ASTAR is huge in Japan. So with this, they're gonna basically, what ASTAR are doing is they are bringing Sony into Web3, and therefore, obviously, Sony, along with all its users, will be potentially onboarded through to Web3 at some stage. And you can see here in terms of the announcement. So the announcement basically mentioned Startail Labs, which is essentially the company behind ASTAR. Those are the ones who they're partnering with. And we can have a look in terms of the actual announcement. What they plan to do is basically create an incubation program whereby people that want to start entering onto Web3 can do so through these specific incubation programs that will be facilitated by Sony and ASTAR. And when those programs will specifically begin, they're now accepting applications. They'll be accepting applications essentially from today. And what else do they plan to do? So this is all a bit more information around the specifics about what the program will include. So they'll have direct communications and feedback with world-class Web3 companies such as Web3 Foundation, Alchemy, as well as free access to informative sessions. You will not only have access to the resources of Sony Network Communications and ASTAR, but you'll also be provided with tech support and financial assistance. So basically, they'll be funding these incubation programs. So what that will encourage a lot of developers to do is to basically flock to ASTAR and start working and building on ASTAR if they haven't been already. So after the incubation program, the program will include demonstrations with Sony Network and product growth support for the ASTAR team. So this is a highly bullish announcement from a Sony perspective. So this is Web 2 and Web 3 now starting to work together. Obviously, ASTAR Network themselves, they will be leading it from a Web 3 perspective. And Sony obviously being the Web 2 participants working in conjunction. So in terms of ASTAR themselves, if you haven't had a look, they've got some absolutely massive backers that they've got working with them. They've got Coinbase, they've got Binance, they've got Crypto.com, you've got Polychain Capital. So some quite big names behind ASTAR itself. So I think this is absolutely huge and will do wonders for ASTAR itself in terms of growing. And when we look at here on the dashboard, we can see here in terms of total value locked on the ASTAR network, it's 443 million. And I think that is probably around about the same size as the actual market cap of ASTAR itself. We'll take a look at that now. So if we have a look in terms of the current price, based on the news released today, the price has pumped. It's up 11.2% at the time of this recording. And in terms of its ranking, it's currently sat outside the top 100 at the moment. There's no reason why this token cannot be sat well within the top 100. So it's got still some room to grow. In terms of circulating supply, you've got 4.1 billion circulating supply, and you've got a total supply of 7.7 billion. Obviously, there's no max supply because this is an inflationary tokens, and the inflationary rate is not that massive that it would impact the actual total supply of the token, so that's not an area to be concerned with. So you can see since the news broke about Sony, it was up 11.2%. So I think this token is definitely worthwhile getting your bags topped up if you haven't got any already. If you want to start buying more, you can buy it on Binance and move it to a Polkadot wallet and stake it directly on ASTAR, where you can start to earn passive income in the background. But I think next bull run, this token should do really well. It launched basically at the peak of the market, and since then hasn't necessarily performed that well. So I'm highly optimistic that in the next bull cycle, this is going to do wonders. It's got huge partnerships in the background, and I think I'm quite keen to know what impact that incubation program is going to have on the potential token price or the tokenomics that they'll be looking to implement for ASTAR in the future. I'm sure that will play a part in it. But that's all I want to share with you in this video. I hope you enjoy that content, and I will see you in my next video.